Hello, Aries. So there's two ways if you want to go by your deacons. I've already pulled out your kind of like your challenge, past, future, and whatever cards. God, I know this does not sound like I am really with it, but this is such a strange reading to do. That's why. But we do have clarifiers. We will get into this. Hang on. Don't click off just yet. So, Aries, if you want to pick, because based on your deacon, pile number 1 is March 21st to the 30th. If you're on the cusp, you might want to go with both piles. Or if you want to pick by a charm, it's this little thing. It says like Queen Elizabeth II. Okay. The next pile, which is the second deacon, is March 31st through April 9th. And then you have a Leo as a sub-sign there. And you have the key with like this Celtic thing in the middle of it. So if you want to pick by the charm instead. And the third pile is April 10th to the 20th. And your sub-sign would be Sag. So, and then you have the love charm. Okay, so we're going to set the deacons aside here, and we're going to go straight into, I probably will timestamp everything because this is going to take a while. So we have, let me just lay them out the way they're supposed to be. There we go. So let's look at the challenge first that comes up is the knighthood, the past. And this may be, we're going to get a clarifier on it. But it's just, there feels like, I mean, it's so funny. It's like the Queen Elizabeth charm came out. You know, it's something, this is the past life oracle. So for some of you, it is that sense of, yeah, it's coming from like whatever the download is that came through on the I want to call it a solar eclipse. It's not an eclipse. It's the solar flare. It may be a past life thing, but I'm going to get a little bit of a clarifier here. Okay, and one more. Do we want, am I going to get one more here? No. It's a balancing card there. What came out is Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within and stay rooted and grounded. And this seems to be kind of this conflicting energy of staying grounded at the same time being able to go in and really source from inside your soul and from your higher self. Like, what is your magic? Where does it come from? Where's its origins? Because what I just heard is how are you supposed to direct this energy? And that I think is a big question with what came through in whatever download, because everybody kind of got downloads, whether they noticed them or not. How do you direct the energy? That's the big question. That it's like there's a lot of magic within you, but how to ground it, keep it balanced is a big challenge. And we're going to go to, out of order, what the gift of this is. And for that, we have love spell. Let the honey of your soul swell in the depths of love. And this is like very, very a battle energy. And then you're going to, what do you get out of this if you properly manage it? Is this balanced love? Is this ability to, reach into the depths of self-love and soul love? We're going to get some clarifiers on that to see if we can get you a little bit more information. We have giraffe, which is see the big picture. So, yeah, I was just hearing like broadening out what there can be like this really like feeling alone. Like, how am I supposed to say this? It's that, what is the broader perspective to take? just not worrying so much about your own, I don't want to say ego or how you appear, but like, how do you connect energetically with all that is around you? And what do you want to connect? And there's, more positive things perhaps that you want to connect to instead of, kind of battling your old ghosts and your old issues. Why not look to the future instead, to where you want to be, where you technically are at the moment, but haven't acknowledged that. And that's coming out with the Swan Spirit, which is time for a deep dive. And you can find this inner peace within inside of you, as that's where it's going to be found. So now we will take a quick look at the bridge in between. Emotions are running high. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So this is a really frustrated, maybe anger charged, no idea where to send your energy, what energies, you're connected to a lot of energies is what I'm hearing, that you don't want to be a part of anymore. And some of them are your own emotional energies, the leftover energies from past experiences. This is what you'll be able to head to. That's kind of the gift of bringing these things up, means you can let them out. And there's the word unlock. So this is sort of an unlocking thing, the door, because sometimes we keep everything that's bothered us in life caged within. And this is saying, open up, just stop guarding that stuff and fighting to keep it in that little box inside, and say, just release it. Just release it. Because it's it, I don't know how else to work, but it can't be, it's like content's under pressure, and it's too emotionally challenging, really. And what you want to get to is this open, kind of free flowing, like, just look at the difference in the colors of the cards. If you release that stuff, this is where you're headed. That's the gift of this coming up to the surface, is being able to head to this beautiful place. Let's see if we can get a clarifier just to help with these emotions running high. We have moon mating, new beginnings. And let me get one more before we say anything here. Spirit, can I get one more for Aries? Okay, I don't need a whole pile. Okay. So you've got new beginnings, luck and right timing, and then you also have like surrender came out, or the crossing, initiation, surrender came out, the divine matrix, needing direction, the power of communication. These are like, this I think really is like, it's the bridge. You've got to find, well, I'm supposed to tell you, if you've been struggling to do this for a long time, now is the time to do it. This is when everything energetically is supporting you to do it and to make that new beginning. That's a fresh start. And initiation kind of sounds like a tough thing, but yeah, I mean, this being able to cross over into this brighter place is where you're headed. Now, these are going to be short. I'm not going to go too in depth or anything with them. So since you are an Aries, I'm wondering if we should give you a little bit more. I know there's something more that needs to come out for you. Because, all the second and third deacons, I was just told well, this is the solar, so shouldn't they be going to the sun sign? Rising? Yeah. use your own your own intuition to figure out which other sign to look at, what other placement to look at. You may want to check whichever house is like, early life, childhood, family, and home, because some of this comes from that. And for some of you, this is work and career. So you may want to check your placements for those houses. I do not know them off the top of my head. Overall, though, the message is basically now is the time to release that crap from the past. You're being supported right now to do it, and what you're going to have afterwards is just being able to like really see deep into your soul and love every part of you. That is what's being open and available for you right now, but this has to be eliminated. Okay, that's everything I have. Is there anything else there that I need to pull for this group? And we'll do one wisdom oracle. Just one wisdom oracle. This is going to take me forever to do all of these. Why am I being asked to do it this way? For some of you, you're actually like that. Like, why am I being told to do it this way? Why does it have to be this way? Like, a message in a bottle. Yeah. I was just told, like, you sent this request out to the universe for an answer, and they're trying to let you know, like, we heard you. We're here to support you. But if you want to keep all this stuff caged, we can't bring this stuff over here in. All right? So that's everything I have for you. Definitely career and childhood, home, family, house placements. If you want to check those, that might give you a little more insight into there. Is there a department, spirit? What is there? Gifts and communication, whatever houses that would fall into, if you want some more information about this part of what the gift is. Communication, for some reason, is coming up for the house on that. Okay, that's all. So we're going to move on to the second deacon, but you are Aries, so like all of these are technically for Aries. So if you want to stick around for the other two Aries, you can. If you want to hunt around, because you're supposed to decode something on your own by going... It's almost like they're making you play a game, but it's not a game. It's just everyone's getting a very distinct message by going to different places to get each of their pieces. I don't know why. All right, I hope that helped some. Hello, Aries, the second deacon, which is March 31st to April 9th. And you have a sub sign or an influence from Leo, so you may want to also check out the Leo. Now, if you're taking all three of these readings for Aries, that's totally cool. You can look at all three because they are all three Aries, or you picked by this key. I know this is like, I took a break and I was like asking Spirit, I was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, why you're sending them on a scavenger hunt to find their message. I don't know why that's coming about. So trust me, I don't normally do these kind of readings. So for the challenge that came through in the download, we have Mother. And this, for some of you, you're doubting your abilities as a mother, wondering if motherhood is right for you. It varies. There's going to be a huge variety for you. This is from the Past Life Oracle. So for those of you who do the past life stuff, if you don't believe in that, it's totally cool. If you do, I'm not going to judge anybody anyway. It may be with a mother figure, and it's kind of like looking to motherhood and looking away from it, but they're focused on this book. And for some of you, you may be there may be a clue in like looking at old photos of your mother, or moms usually don't have a lot of pictures of themselves because they're busy taking pictures. But if you have pictures and you have kids with you at the kids, there's some clue as to a challenge that was really under the surface at that time. And it's probably not something you fully consciously acknowledged, is what I'm hearing. But you kind of know in a way, but you haven't really gone and explored this. Now, for some of you, it is kind of a deep thing, but really what I'm feeling is there's something you missed that's been overlooked. And that's been causing problems for you without you even realizing that it's been causing you problems. And this doesn't necessarily mean you overlooked something negative, but you may be forgetting the good moments, the good memories. And something in the good memories is the clue to how to create more good memories, in the future going forward, how to create good memories. And this is a pretty big challenge for some of you who don't know how to make the good memories, or you're questioning, are these really the right memories to be making? Are we doing the right activities? Is this meaningful enough and special enough? Those kind of questions may be on your mind. And this can, go beyond. We're not just talking about moms. I'm recording this the day before Mother's Day, so it's not surprising that this would come out. But this is, I'm really like, whatever your gender identity is, this does not have to necessarily be a female gender. But it is that looking back for those, there's a different perspective you can take on certain parts of your youth, of your childhood, of the family unit, of how you related to, even for some of you, it was how you related to a father figure. And there's something important about understanding that when you were a child, your ability to understand things was different. Your perspective of the world was totally different back then. So keeping some of those beliefs that were created with that former perspective is kind of challenging you right now, because you're older, you're an adult now. You're not a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old or a 9-year-old anymore. There's a different view that you can take of these things. I'm going to pull 2 cards just to see what can be helpful in this. Take that. One more card, please. We'll take that. Okay. Okay, and this is what comes out. A harmonizing resolution is possible. Intend and create. So this is, I think, just a confirmation of what we're talking. I'm actually going to cover the mother word, because for so many of you, this isn't even a mother. This could even be a relation with a sibling. It could have been how you felt you were treated at school. There's that key theme, though, of taking a good look at what was the perspective you had as a child, and seeing how you know so many different things now. Now, some of you want to bring back some perspectives that you used to have that you let go of. That's not too much of the vibe I'm picking up, so that'll be for a few of you. Most of you, it's evaluating past experiences through the perspective that you're capable of having now. The other card came out, High Priest, intend and create. And it's not like I heard create new memories, but it's essentially you'll be creating new memories out of the old memories when you see them in this different light. That it's a challenge and it's something you didn't know necessarily that you were being called. You know, some of you, if it resonates, that's good. If this does not resonate at all, then it's not your message, or it's not time for you to receive this kind of message. But the intend and create is essentially almost this creating a new understanding of that past. And there's this, just the peacekeeper. And just from a neutral ground, you have to be able to do that, which isn't an easy thing when we look at our childhood, especially if it was like stuff that made us feel bad about ourselves or made us feel limited. Those kinds of things are not easy to look through a neutral lens at, even if time has passed. All right, so let's go, and we're going to move on to what is the gift. The sun god we have as the gift, if this work is done, the gift is come all, come now, expand into the skies and into the shadows below. And what I'm getting with that one is that this, in order for you to expand and open up the future possibilities for good things, you've got to go in and look at what the shadows below were. And this doesn't mean like hardcore shadow work, need to get a therapist kind of stuff. That's not the vibe I'm getting on this. It's really re-perspective. Where are you now? And how does now look at the past rather than as you saw? Because in the past, you were in the now of that moment. You're not in the now of the moment. And we can all say, you know, all time is happening at the same time. But you have the ability with who you are now to look at these other things in the past. And this is going to open up what you can create in the future, because you won't be tied to these old perspectives which are limiting you somehow. We'll get a couple clarifiers on that. Okay, one. And let's get one more card. Let me take this here. The snake spirit, 555. Time to heal. So it is a healing. It is a healing of... There's people walking behind my windows, so there's noise in the background. And spirit has a plan, 35. So you're supported in this with spirit. I mean, just look at all of the sun in here. This is really, the sun is trying to give you this gift. I mean, we literally have sun god, and we're doing like, you know, the solar flare reading of like what the download is, what its challenge is, and what its gift is. And it's like, you literally got sun god on this. Okay, like this could not be more of you're getting something from the universe, and spirit has a plan. This is a healing aspect. The yellow, I mean, it almost looks like there's a sun in the background of each of these cards. Okay, so we're going to move on to like, what is the balancing in between? Prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. Didn't we just had the new moon in Taurus? Yeah, it was the new moon in Taurus. I think it was. Yeah, pretty sure it was. Yeah, because the full moon is going to be in Sagittarius and we're in May. So the new moon is in Taurus. The bridge here is like prosperity lies ahead. This is your balancing act is moving out of the past. Moving something in you that's running on the subconscious plane. You can probably feel it maybe in your aches and your headaches and getting fatigued with it. That's not to diagnose anything medical. If you're having issues, obviously go to a doctor. But some of you sense things through how you physically feel, and they're not big things. It's just, you notice certain situations you start to feel exhausted in. Certain situations you kind of get a headache. These are areas that might be clues for where to look. And let's get a couple oracle cards just to help clarify what can be useful to help you. Okay, I got two of them that jumped right over. All right, you have 59, which is the wailing tree. And it's I like the family tree, going back to that, and it's reconciliations. And this is, yeah, it's making a peace with the past. It's very much a making a peace with the past. And you have 11, deep quiet, meditation, and stillness. And these are, you know, if you sit still with it, and it's very much, it was from a place of neutrality. We did have Peacekeeper here, which is a very important part. It's interesting because I'm looking at this and it almost makes me think of the key here for some reason. Intend and create. And it's reconciling, you know, what is the disconnect between an old perspective that's giving you a belief in the present moment that you need to bring that new perspective to. We'll pull one more card to close this. And let's see, just one card. Okay, you want to come out. The never-ending story. Yeah, it's time to put an end to something that's just been going on and on and on and on. And this solar flare is really giving you the download and the information and the opportunity to say, you know what, this is it. I'm not going to let that restrain me anymore. I'm moving into the sun god energy. And I'm going to expand the world. Basically, you're opening up so much of the world to you that you've never allowed yourself to have before. That's all I have for you for the second deacon of Aries. You're welcome to listen to all three Aries, because it is all Aries. Or if you want to, the supportive sign for you is Leo. So you may want to check out some of Leo, or just keep an eye on that. Okay, and hopefully that helped some. Like I said, there's sort of a scavenger hunt, but I think you got a very succinct message in here. So I don't know how much scavenger hunting you need to go. Almost, I think the scavenger hunt thing may be like you going back and trying to find these pieces. But like I said, you may find in either the other Aries readings or your other placements, whichever house is for, you know, like the early years, family, childhood, you might want to check your placement in that. It might have some clues there. Other than that, like this is a beautiful gift, and it's supported by spirit to do this now, and it'll be so nice to end that like just feeling of like it just always keeps going this way and going this way and going this way. Now you've been given a chance to completely change that and open up all kinds of new directions. Okay, so hopefully I'll catch you in another reading. Till then, I wish you the best. Hello, third deacon Aries, or those of you in Aries who chose the love charm, or if you're watching all three of the Aries, because they are all Aries, so you might find something in all of them. If you need a reminder, this is if you're born April 10th through April 20th, and your subsign or influencing sign is Sagittarius, so you may also want to check that out. Okay, let's get into what challenge came through with this solar. We have transportation. And I'm not sure if this is like life has just been moving too fast, or you're having trouble getting things moving forward. And I'm feeling like, yeah, I got more of the feeling of a screeching halt. Let me get the clarifier cards for this one so we can get a little more information. I get 2 clarifiers. And Spirit, what do we have for Aries? The second deacon. The Sag subsign. What do we have? Okay, I'm being told to look. Okay, I'm just told to look at the bottom, which says is the moon card. Take note of intuitive messages. For some of you, it isn't going to be everyone. Just take what resonates, leave the rest, as everyone says. For some of you, there's been moments where you just feel like there's a pause or like a glitch. And it's been, I'm going to take this card and leave it out. Okay, underneath is connect with your emotions. We'll see how that plays in a moment. But take note of intuitive messages. And it's, for some of you, some of these like screeching halt moments are just pretty brief. But you're being asked to pay attention to what's in your intuition there. Because you're being given a bunch of information. And it sounds like you're, like basically barely going a day or two without like a moment where it's just sort of like, and like you don't know. So it's something about needing to be able to get more in touch with your intuition. So when these moments of like, it just something, if it relates, you know what I'm talking about. There's this feeling of like, there's just a moment, and it could be just like a blank, or you just fade out of a conversation and your mind goes blank, but you can't quite place it. It's being called, your intuition's trying to get through to you. And I don't feel like this is like necessarily your intuition. I mean, for some of you, your intuition is trying to give you some information about stuff that you're doing, obviously, but I don't feel like this is like a big warning or anything that your intuition is trying to get through. The other card, and Aries in the second deacon had this also. The Peacekeeper, which is a harmonious resolution is possible. All right. Okay. Connecting with your emotions. Can you give me like one more card so we can better understand something? We have the Heart Guardian, which is love and let yourself be loved. Yes. Okay, Spirit. Why am I, okay, I'm sorry for the pause. It's just that the message I'm getting, it's, okay, for some of you, like I said, just take what resonates and what doesn't. Some of you are heading in a direction that is not in alignment with your heart. And that's what these little notes and messages are. And you're being asked to kind of harmonize yourself with the heart mind more than, the logical mind. And it's not to throw logic out the window, obviously. Sometimes our intuition is like more logical than anything else, especially when the ego gets out of the way. It's kind of like a more sensible information. Went off kilter. Went off kilter. Like, I think there's something like off kilter. Like, there's something off, and there's something off. And it's really you're being told, listen to what this thing is that feels off. And it keeps showing up. And it's going to be different for all of you. I'm not going to be able to pinpoint this for you. Because this is your challenge, is for you to learn and to understand that you have an internal compass, an internal guidance system that is telling you when you're veering in the wrong direction. And I don't want to use the word wrong, but you're veering off course where your energy is not being best used. that it's not really serving your highest purpose. It's not serving your soul's mission here. And it's being used up in ways that it's not meant to be used up. It's not meant, your energy is never meant to be used up. There should be an infinite supply, and it's like as you use your energy, it should be constantly replenished if we're using it in the way that it's meant to be used. If we use it where it doesn't belong, then we're going to completely drained out. All right. So some self-care, some trusting your intuition, definitely be kind to yourself through this process. No harsh judgments on yourself or anything at all. Like this is kind of like a simple thing. We all kind of live this way at times. If not, some of us live our whole lives that way. So there's no critical judgments here, of no negative self-judgments. Very much the peacekeeper kind of looks at things at a neutral way, and that neutral sense, that neutral perspective is what's able to see things the most accurately. All right, let's move on to what gift this is bringing in. And we have the Goddess card, number 14. Make sure to feel it in your bones, for you are what you believe. Okay, that's, some of you are just not living in what you believe, in who you believe you really are. And this gift, if you do this process, which is the challenge, is to do this process, the gift is that you kind of become your inner goddess blooms, basically. You will feel it all the way to your bones. You will know who you are, and you will believe in what you're doing, how you're behaving, how you're living your life, the words that you're choosing, the people you're around, the work that you're doing. It will all become aligned, and you will feel it. And it's just something your whole being is going to, heart, mind, body, and soul. You will feel it. Okay. Do we want any clarifiers for that? If you can just give us 2 cards to clarify on that. If there's any additional information that Aries needs at this time. Okay. I don't know why I turned this one over and not the other card. You have 48, Porcupine Spirit. Time for beginner's mind. It may be new to you the way these messages are coming through, or you may be learning to allow the intuitive messages to come through in a new way. And I have a sense that it is feeling out how you can kind of like tune the station in so that the messages come in clear and you're receiving them instead of there being static or just silence. It's time for that beginner's mind of really finding that way inside of you, finding where it is and how you connect to your higher power, of however you define that, so that these intuitive messages are going to be coming through clearly. And it's a beginner's mind for you, for some of you. And you may have been able to get to that intuitive place in one way before, but it's shifted and it's not coming through like it used to, in the way it used to. And don't worry about that. That's something that for a lot of us changes over time. I find particularly, I only know the female experience, so I can't really speak for whether or not it holds totally true for men and non-binary, but I know for some reason, especially with the women in my family, what our gifts have been, how our premonitions and stuff have come in, they've fluctuated. Like pre-teens, it would be one way. Once we got into our teens, it shifted around for a while, and then in 20s and 30s, and then into the 40s and 50s, it makes another shift. So it's fine. It's okay if it's shifting right now and you're needing to figure out how to make a kind of like a course adjustment into where you're tuning in to receive the messages directly from yourself. And as you're watching a tarot reading from someone else, just a reminder that this is very much a message of you being able to tune into the messages directly without a third party, no other person intervening. Just you and spirit, God, higher power, however you define that. This is learning that. And vulture spirit, nothing is wasted. And we just talked earlier about the energy getting used up. And this is just saying, your energy isn't going to get drained because you won't be wasting it. Once you've got yourself in a position where you're really able to hear those intuitive messages and not just sort of feel like, something's there, but I'm not quite getting the info. Once you get there, and you get those messages, you're going to know how to put your energy constantly in a place where it's meant to go, and thus it'll constantly be replenished. So you're not going to be wasting your energy on things. That's going to be the gift, is you won't be getting drained so much. And something that can help in the meantime, or to get from one part of this to the other, we have, what do you need to release? The waxing moon. So this, for some of you, it may be this belief that you need to do things a certain way that you need to release. Some of you, you may need to release the idea that I'm supposed to get my understanding and my information and my guidance from this. But guess what? Now it's going to be coming to you directly through a different way. So what do you need to release? That's the question that's being asked to you. I'll pull 2 cards to help clarify. And again, these are all things that you need to answer specifically to yourself. I can just kind of steer you in a direction, give you some clues, but I can never give you a definitive answer for you specifically, not in a general reading. And even on a one-to-one reading, it's always, you've got to find that within you. It was very important to point that out for some reason. For some of you, you needed to hear, you've got to be able to find this within you, and you're perfectly capable of it. You're perfectly capable of it. You've been getting that nudge. You've been getting that little moment all a while now, or it just started happening, or it's been going, however long it has or has not been going on. That moment, it's been trying to get through to you. Spirit's been trying to get through to you directly. And now it's just a matter of figuring out how you are able to listen to it. And you may have to release some beliefs, some old ways of seeking for those answers. Okay. One more card for Aries as to how that can help them along this process to get to the gift and out of the challenge. Okay. Initiation came out 54, and this also did come out in the second deacon group for Aries. So you have 2 cards from that group. So that's the initiation. It's a crossing. So you have to be willing to walk across that bridge to this new way of receiving the information. And then vanishing mirror, ego sublimation, 58. And this is letting go of how you saw yourself as being able to do things just this way, and opening yourself up to these other possibilities. And I don't know why, but for some reason I'm also supposed to say, even though this card says ego sublimation and we would think it's self-ego, It is letting you know, just because other people's egos project that they have the information that you need spiritually or so forth. I'm looking more at the spiritual part. This could be at other facets in your life. Now, some people, like obviously a tax attorney, a tax consultant's going to probably know more than you about taxes, but no, so we're not talking about something like that. But ego sublimation, there is a huge, huge push that I am being given to tell you it is time to start looking inside yourself. And some of you have been relying too heavily on personalities presenting as the voice of spirit, rather than looking for spirit within yourself. Yeah, and here you are at a reading, and I'm telling you that, and I do readings. So, but that's okay, because there are things that we can glimpse from these kind of general readings, but you're really being, in this particular reading right here, everything in here is saying you have to find a way to connect yourself with spirit so you get those messages directly. For those of you who keep looking outside yourself, expecting the next guru, expecting the next workshop to teach you how to do it, it might be time to go, you know what? Spirit keeps showing up and just, I'm not listening. Let me just sit. Just spend time sitting there alone. Do a meditation by yourself. However, go in the garden, like do the dishes and say, Spirit, if you want to talk to me while I'm doing the dishes, please let me, even in everyday chores, preferably not while you're driving, because that can be a little distracting, especially if it comes with visions. I don't recommend that. But allow it. And I'm hearing like, allow this in everyday life, in everyday activities, because I think for this group particular, you're getting these messages when you're in the middle of like getting your stuff together to go to work, or taking a shower, or brushing your teeth or something. Like allow it. You don't have to sit down and say, I'm going to, do this workshop thing and where we're going to have a guided meditation or something. It doesn't necessarily, like spirit doesn't always talk to you just like that. It can just show up. It's, we always have the connection to the divine. And there's something very particular in this group that you're being asked right now to just pay attention always, because the information is always there for you. And it's a direct connection between you and spirit, God, higher power, whatever you choose to label the divine. And yeah, I'm almost being told, don't even bother giving them another oracle card. But I really want to. I'm doing it for all the other groups, Spirit. Like, I feel really... Oh gosh, look at the bottom of the deck. Higher power. Go connect with your higher power directly. That's very, very important. Okay? And it doesn't mean you can't, still participate in other things that other people do, or talk to other people who are spiritual or anything like that. But this is a very definite thing that Spirit is trying to reach you directly. And it's going to make it so that you're not being exhausted and using up your energy in the wrong places. And I don't mean energy in the wrong places by looking at like tarot readings or something like that. This is like all of your life, all the activities in your life, so that your energy everywhere in your life is being directed and guided in what is best aligned for who you are. And sometimes the only way you can find that out, and usually the only way you can really find out what is in alignment specifically for who you are, is for you to have that direct connection with your higher power. Okay? I know it sounds daunting, and I just heard some of you feel lonely. Spirit, what do you want me to say? I know if I just tell them, but Spirit's with you. You're never alone. And okay, that's what some of you have to find out, is that no, you're never alone. And it's time to connect and understand that Spirit is with you all the time, and open up to being able to really hear it. Not just stop and hear the silence, but hear the message that's trying to come through in that silence, so that you know you're not alone. Okay, this is the third deacon for Aries, so there may be some other clues in Sag, but I kind of don't want to send you on a wild goose chase and scavenger hunt through the signs. Definitely you are a group that needs to connect directly, and I feel a little preachy on that one, but wow, that's a really strong reading. And the upside on this one, I will tell you, is that Spirit wants so much to have a direct relationship with you. And just directly with you, not through other people, not through other things, not through what you do or who you go to a workshop with or listen to or watch on YouTube. Directly with you so badly. And that's something that you and Spirit have to do alone together. But I can feel like just how intense Spirit wants to have this relationship with you, and make sure you feel loved, and make sure you feel supported, and just really enable you to feel your own power and know your own source of guidance. Okay? So I'm going to say don't even look at any of the other readings in this all signs scavenger hunt through whatever. You saw everything you needed to see right here. Now go listen to Spirit instead of me. Oh my goodness. I wish you the best. I know it's hard. I understand. I can feel the struggling, and I can feel that there's the disbelief, but you've just got to build that trust, and that'll gradually come. It'll come. Let yourself build that trust directly with Spirit. You have it within you to connect. You really do. Okay, thank you for listening, and oh, what a relief you will have when you make this connection and you really feel it. And don't worry if it takes a while. Don't worry. It's coming. Spirit is not giving up on you. Okay? And take care.